Hi guys, everybody. Welcome again for talk about the behaviorist theory. In this video, I am refers in specific the advantages or disadvantages of related behaviors. But for begin my exposition, I refer the behaviorist theory of a language learning related advantages or limitation. For starting, the behaviorist theory explore the foundational concepts. I speed tell or mm, 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 how emphasis external reinforcement and observable behaviors. In general, I refers in all words of these slides. Now, explore the foundational concepts, the strengths, the weaknesses of the behavioral theory in language acquisition, the frameworks, emphasizing external reinforcement and observable behavior. Secondly, the key principle of behavioral theory is stimulus response, operant conditioning, imitation and reinforcement, and habit formation. For begin, stimulus response is a language. It refers, stimulus refers, language is learning through direct association between external stimuli and verbal response. Secondly, operant conditioning. It refers behavior, including speech, are shaped by positive reinforcement and punishment. Imitation reinforcement. Children imitate adult speech patterns which are strengthened by positive feedback. And habit formation. Language acquisition is seen as the gradual formation of habits through repeat practice and reinforcement. The more important proponents or pioneers who speak this theory are John V. Watson, Skinner B. F., and Ivan Pavlov. John V. Watson, why? Because he's the pioneer in behaviorism, advocating by psychology focused on line observable behavior rather than internal mental state. B.F. Skinner developed operant conditioning detail how consequences influence voluntary behavior, including language use. And finally, Ivan Pavlov laid groundwork for associative learning with classical conditioning influencing early behaviorist growth. Okay. What advantages have this theory? Clear frameworks, effective teaching, education influence, and empirical support. Clear framework offer a measurable and objective framework focusing on observable behavior and quantified outcomes in language learning. Effective teaching proven effective in instructive teaching environments through the use of drills, repetition, and imitate reinforcement. 3. Education influence. Had large influence in developing educational methods, particularly in second language acquisition and behavior modification techniques. And finally, empirical support, supported by empirical evidence derived from controlled experimental settings demonstrating its principle in actions. What limitation and criticism? Limited creativity, enlarged cognition, oversimplification, and formality and complexity. Imitate creativity. Why? Because have struggled to explain how an individual generates novel sentences or understanding previously unrealized. In our conditioning, overlooks the crucial role of internal cognitive processes like memory, problem solving, and abstract through in language learning. Oversimplification present an overly simplistic view of language acquisition that like complex social, environmental, and mental factors. And finally, uniformity and complexity fails to account for the remarkable uniformity and rapid acquisition of language across diverse human populations. Comparison with other theories, behaviorist, contrasts significantly with other prominent theory of language acquisition, each offering a unique lens. Native theory, unlike Chomsky universal grammar, behaviorist denies an innovative language acquisition device focusing solely on environmental. Social learning differs from Dura social learning theory, which emphasizes observation, imitation, and cognitive processes beyond mere reinforcement. And cognitive approach, while behavior is focused on external stimulus, cognitive theories highlight the internal mental structures and processes involved in language learning processes. Education. Educational application. In educational application, have positive reinforcement to encourage correct language using a pronunciation, the drills practice techniques, behavior modification strategies for managing the classroom dynamics and student engagement, or foundation for language teaching methods that prioritize structure, input immediately feedback. And final, the conclusion balances the perspective. Foundational yet incomplete. Behaviorist theory offers a critical foundation for understanding language learning, but it's insufficient on its own. Value contributions. It remain value for structured learning, habits formation, and behavior shaping in various educational contexts. Integrated understanding. A comprehensive understanding of language requires integrating behaviorist principle with cognitive and social theory. Enduring influence. Its influence continued the language education and therapeutic intervention highlights its practical utility. That's all. Thank you very much. See you the next work.